Yo, 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 yo. We alive. We alive. We alive. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Real Talk with Rajan. Y'all already know what time it is. Go ahead and share this out. Tell a friend, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend that we are on. And I am blessed this evening. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. But we're going to get into it. So go ahead and share this out. I'm going to take 1 minute, let you guys share, let the world know Real Talk with Rajan is now live. And we're gonna get started. Let's do our countdown. Let's roll.
I have 4 great adult children.
Awesome.
He's definitely in the community. He did run for Senate 2 years ago. What?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. So he was.
Let's talk about the founding of the Distinguished Gentleman's Club.
Absolutely. So about 8 years ago.
You said you're a mother. So how many children?
I have 5 kids.
Okay.
Where they started saying that I was their African American, and they got this from our president. You know, they were noted.
What were you doing when you were child? The first or the second time? Before the first time.
So I was in and out.
Good. Awesome. So that really is a great place to transition.
And who is sitting across from me or beside me is never going to sway that.
Listen, man. One, I'm not gonna cry on this episode.
Yeah.
I made it through all of these episodes. I think I've cried once in Congress. What are the things that you're most proud of accomplishing? You know, as a congressman and as whip.
Real Talk with Rajan.
Yo. Hello, world, and welcome back to Real Talk with Rajan when nothing's off limits. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. I am your host, Rajan Lewis. Now, here on Real Talk with Rajan, everything's debatable, so on any given week, we could be discussing anything from sports to music to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. Now, for those who are new to the show, Real Talk with Rajan has a goal of shining a light on the great people and the great things that are happening right here in the Low Country. But tonight, first of all, I only have tonight, next Wednesday, and the Wednesday after that left in the show. That's all I got left. And it's getting real personal these next few episodes, just because that's where we going out, man. Y'all know Real Talk with John, we built a family here. But family, you know, when you think about family can be people that, you know, is blood related to you. They can be people that you know, are not blood related to you. And I've been blessed to have some of the best people, you know, around me that, you know, when I was a child and when I was a young man who kept me on the straight and narrow, who was, you know, not too proud or not too big to have a kid come over and spend the night at the house and just hang out and take them places. And this young lady that is coming on my show tonight is definitely one of those people. She is an author. She's a speaker. She's a survivor. She's like my mom's. I have 4 moms claim, and she's one of the 4. Shout out to my moms, hey. Stephne Hockenhull. What's up, moms? What's up, baby? How you doing?
I'm doing really good. I've been really excited about coming on this show.
I'm so excited. I was so glad when I finally was able to get you on, because I had heard about your book. I saw you talking about your book coming out and everything. And I was like, I got to get her on before I end this. So when I reached out, I was so glad that you were able to come on. So please introduce yourself to the audience.
I am Stephne Hockenhull, and as Rajan said, I am an author. I'm a speaker. I'm an educator. I love to talk about bullying because that's my experience for many years. So I don't want to say too much right now.
Yeah.
But thank you, Rajan, for having me on the show. And Rajan, yes, is like my son.
Yes.
You know, him and Jean, my son. I just think about you and Jean and Jabbar out there on the tennis court singing, and wherever y'all could get, y'all were singing. And I think about that sometimes, and it just makes me smile big because, you know, y'all are still singing. And I just love it. I just love it. And y'all are doing big things. So I love that too.
Oh, you know we love you. You know we love you. We're not gonna cry on this episode. I said on the intro,
Right.
and we not crying tonight. But
Right.
please introduce, like, let them know. So where are you originally from?
I am originally from Oklahoma, a small town near Tulsa and near Stillwater, Oklahoma, where OSU is, Oklahoma State University.
Hmm.
It's about 30 to 45 minutes from both, and it's like almost in the center of those two, uh,
Okay.
Stillwater and Tulsa. It's a very, very small Indian town.
Oh wow. And I never knew you were from Oklahoma. I
Yeah,
always thought you were from Kansas.
no. Gene and Keisha were born in Kansas,
Gene and
and
Keisha born in Kansas.
yeah, and that's where all of my school years was in
Okay.
Wichita. Yeah. So
Okay. So what?
I wasn't raised in Oklahoma. I was raised in Wichita. My school years were there.
Okay. So what was your upbringing like? Did you have like two parents in the home, one parent? What did you like to do? That whole thing.
I was in a one parent. My mother raised us most of our years by herself. So it was me and two brothers. I'm the oldest. Um, and we were raised, in the church, pretty much. And so we were always doing things with the church,
Mm,
youth group, and so those are the kind of things we did. It was very different being raised by only mom, but I mean that's how we were. So we got used to it, of course. But she
hmm.
was a really good mother, really
Oh,
good mother, single
awesome.
mother. Yeah.
And so, what did you want to do when you were growing up?
Oh, I remember telling mom when I was a kid that I wanted to be a nurse. And she said, girl, because she was a nurse aide at one time
Hmm.
before I was born. And she said, girl, that is not what you want to do. You have to clean up after people. And then she told me different stories that she experienced as a nurse aide. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I don't want to do
Uh,
that.
yeah, I can feel that. I can feel
Yeah.
that.
So
So
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I ended up getting in the healthcare field anyway, and I took a lot of classes for nursing. However, when it came time for me to take the nursing classes, I would always back out because I was working full time. I had divorced, and so I was working full time and part time and taking full time hours at school. So when
Mm,
it came time to get in the nursing program, I bowed out 3 times, and I just couldn't. I was like, no, I gotta work. I gotta survive.
right, right. So what did you end up? So what did you end up doing? Because if you didn't complete that, what were you getting to?
I ended up getting my degree in liberal arts and sciences.
Okay.
I took a lot of classes for women's study so that I could learn different things about women from of different cultures.
Mm, I love that. So what was like your big? Because I know a lot of people, like, when people take women's studies, and honestly, that's one of those degrees that I think are really slept on. People, like, they sort of say, "Oh, you went to school of women's studies, huh?" Like,
Mhm.
what was your biggest takeaway? What is your biggest, like, growth point from getting that degree?
My biggest takeaway was learning how different women of different cultures, how what their beliefs are, what some of the things are that they do, and then learning how some of the cultures are the same, like
Mm,
Indians and Black people. They're some of the things that we do are similar, and it's funny to say
okay.
that now because of what I just shared with you about where I'm from. Uh, so I guess I never really thought about that because like I said, I'm from an Indian town.
Uh huh.
So yeah. So it was just something learn about the different cultures and how, they had similar beliefs and similar likes and similar, things that they believed in, and did in life.
Is there any particular reason that stuck out to you as a thing that you wanted to learn about?
I really don't know at that time why I chose women's studies classes. I guess it was just interesting to me because at that time at Wichita State University, they were just starting the women's studies programs. I
Mm,
understand now that was back in 2013, 2012, 13. So I understand now that they have a lot more women's studies classes. I do not even know why um, I chose that, except for when I heard about it, I thought it was interesting, and I can't even right now think of what the first women's studies class was that I took. But I
Yeah.
took a number of them, their religions, their socioeconomic beliefs and ways that they did things. So it was a lot of classes, but there was a whole lot more added after I took classes and graduated.
Yeah, I'd imagine that that's got to be something that's got to be really probably be something for, good for a lot of men to take
Yeah,
terms of understanding just a lot of a lot of psychological stuff and understanding sometimes I mean, we live in a paternal society. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So when you're able to really put it to frame it under the auspices of how the woman's experience on this earth and like on this planet, like it's a completely different kind of thing. So
yeah,
I definitely will be interested in finding out more information about that kind of stuff, especially because I have 4 daughters
yes,
and a wife. So
yes,
being able to understand maybe certain things that I wouldn't otherwise be able to put together is
that's
always a
true.
good, and being able to like draw those parallels between history.
Yes, yes,
Um, yeah, so you mentioned you have children, and I know how
yes.
many children you have, but tell them about your children.
So I have two adult children.
We're
Gina,
always children to our parents, always.
exactly. When people ask me, "Do you have children?" I say I have two adults, and
Hmm.
a lot of times I say I have a man and a woman, and they look at me like, "What? Oh, okay, yeah, get it."
Yeah, yeah.
So, Gene Williams is my son, and Takesha Williams, Keisha Williams is my daughter. I have 5 grandchildren uh, from the age ranges of 10 to 18. The 2 boys are 10 and 18, and the girls are in between. They are 11, 16, and 17.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
And so, do they all live where you live, or they like dispersed now?
No, Keisha and her kids live here. I live in Overland Park, Kansas, and they live here in Overland Park, Kansas. And then Gene and his family live in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, all right. So when you left, when last time I saw you, you were married,
Yes.
and then you got divorced.
Yeah, when Gene and Keisha went to college, I went back to college. Had started daycare in my home because I was like, "Oh, my kids are gone," because they both
Hmm.
went out of state. I was living in Georgia, and Keisha went back to South Carolina, so she went to
Hmm.
South Carolina State, and Gene went to an HBC, historically black college in Memphis.
Okay.
So I was like, it's time for me to go back to school. So I went back to school, and then shortly after that, while I was getting ready to say, I started daycare in my home. So once I started daycare in my home, then I went back to college because I was like, I need more babies, and I wasn't about to have any. So that was the closest to having some that I was going to get. So I went back to college, and then shortly after that, I divorced, and then I was like, why am I here in Georgia? I have no family here. My kids aren't here. My
Mm.
family is in Missouri and in Kansas and Oklahoma. So I didn't want to go back to any of them. So I moved to Texas for 2 years and tried it for myself, and that didn't work. So I finally had to suck it up and move back to Wichita, where I didn't want to move. But there was some unfinished business there that I needed to take care of for
Hmm.
growth, you know, for me to grow from situations from the past.
Yeah.
So I was back in Wichita for 13 years, and then I moved to Overland Park. So I've been here 2 years.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well, because I was like, I don't know what happened, but
yeah,
thank you for sharing that, because I was like, I don't know what happened.
yeah,
That was cool, but
yeah,
I definitely understand like that. Those things happen as well, you know.
yeah.
So how do you decide? Okay, now I want to become a writer. Like, where did that come from? Because I don't remember you like I don't remember being like in the kitchen and like Miss Stephanie in there, like writing books or nothing. So where did that come from?
Um, I do not know. I what I did do in 2017, I believe, I started a what I wanted to do was uh get some local authors in the local area that and help them to put out their books to get well known in the community.
Mhm.
So I started that. And then I would have them speak about their books, and then I'd have them do a book signing, and then we would read their book, and then we would talk about their book, and then I would invite the next author. So I was doing that, like I said, so that people can get to know them in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, out of that, I ended up writing a book, but I didn't start writing a book until I moved to Overland Park, Kansas. So last year, I was in Overland Park for almost a year, and then I moved, made a move in Overland Park, still in Overland Park, and I saw a boot camp on Facebook, and I was like, I got to do that. I just felt it,
Mm-hmm.
the call to do that. So I wrote my book in 11 days.
Wow.
Yeah, through the boot camp. But the March before, in March 2019, I did a workbook about bullying,
Mm.
and it was about 31 pages. And so I just ended up revamping that, adding some stuff to it, and publishing it in February. I self-published my first book in September of last year.
Wow. That's amazing. That's
Yeah, so
amazing.
I'm just thinking, well, because I, wrote my book, now it was time for. I really don't know how all of that came about, but I'm just glad that it happened because
Yeah.
I had that in me and I needed to get it out to
Yeah.
be able to share it with other people.
When you write what you know, it comes like when you write what you know. So what was the topic? What's the topic of your book? I mean, we haven't really even talked about the book yet, but tell us about the book. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. The name of the book is Trouble on the Inside, and it is about workplace bullying.
Mm.
Well, I experienced bullying in the workplace, in relationships, in church. And then I talk about, I don't know if you knew this or not. I don't think you knew Gene then because it was in junior high school. He was bullied.
Mm.
Uh, and so I talk about to school age children, I talk about his experience and how I was there to support him
Yeah.
uh, through his bullying experiences. And then how he had a classmate, they were both 12, sixth grade, and she committed suicide. So,
Wow.
yeah. So
I never knew that.
yeah, yeah. And he he was bullied in high school too.
I remember that.
Yeah, so then we put him in private school, and then we took him back to high school,
Mm-hmm.
public high school, and then we put him back his senior year, put him back in private school.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know during that time that I was being bullied. What was happening to me was that
Mm-hmm.
I was being bullied too. So
Wow.
now that I know that, I finally use my voice as of December 2017, and I've been educating people about bullying. It really
I love that.
happens in all age ranges. People think it's just adolescents, but I tell them no. It starts at toddlers when they're pushing and biting each other. That's physical bullying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seniors, I worked a lot with seniors. I did work in the healthcare field. I just wasn't a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
But in the healthcare field, I watched the seniors bully each other. They didn't, they were antisocial bullies, pushing each other away from the table. No, you can't sit there. Somebody else is sitting there. So, yeah, so it's in all age ranges.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Bullying comes in all ages. You're absolutely right.
yeah.
For those who may be saying, what does it look like, workplace bullying? Can you sort of elaborate on that?
Yeah, workplace bullying is someone talking down to you, insulting you about your job, maybe what you're doing or what you're not doing, but insulting you, in front of a lot of people, or just insulting you, period. A lot of people don't have to be around. It can just be you and them, but talking down to you to make you feel like you are less than,
Mm.
and your work is less than.
Yeah.
That is one form of workplace bullying. And then cyberbullying is a big thing. So emails, you bully in emails, talking down about people, insulting them. So just talking to people in controlling ways.
Mm. Yeah. What about what if because there's a lot of rhetoric around why marriages don't last the way they used to.
Yeah.
I have my own thoughts on that, but I was wondering if maybe we all hear about why did Big Mama and Granddaddy they stayed together for 79 years. Can you speak to what maybe created the circumstances that allowed a person, because I'm pretty sure Big Mama was going through her own bullying. Can you
Yeah.
speak to sort of the dynamics that may have led to that change in dynamics society wise?
Okay. A lot of times, people back then, and even now, people stay together because they don't want to be by themselves. So they stay and they take and put up with things. It doesn't mean that they're happy at all. In fact, they are unhappy, but they just don't want to get out and try on their own to make it. That was part of my hesitation of getting out of my divorce. How am I going to make it? How will I survive? So we tend to stay in relationships, putting up with things that are not necessarily good for us
Yeah.
and that are toxic, um, just to not have to experience life on our own. So we,
Mm,
we put up with a lot of things that aren't good for us sometimes. So yeah, they might be cussing each other out all the time, or Big Mama might have a gun, and he might be scared of her,
right.
So um, those are the kind of things that that has happened and that keep people in relationships, even though and then the person that is taking the abuse and taking the bullying, they take that because they don't understand that it is bullying. They don't understand that they don't have to take it. They don't have a voice
Mm,
for themselves, and that's one of the reasons I'm so happy now that I can talk um, and be a voice
yeah.
for those that bully, because I wasn't always that way. I was a people pleaser, so I put up with a lot. I took a lot, thinking people would be nice to me.
Mm,
Even though they're mean to me, if I be nice to them, maybe they'll be mean to me. That's not how that works. You
wow.
have to use your voice.
That's real.
Yeah.
So when you're doing your speeches and stuff, do you have like a particular story that stands out to you as you like, a certain moment of impact that maybe you've been able to make?
Um, I have, for myself, a story, one of my stories, or just a story that has helped people.
No, like maybe somebody came up and told you, how it helped them to hear, you talk about your story and how it helped you.
Yeah,
Number of
I
things.
have had a number of people tell me that they didn't know that certain things that I share uh, is bullying, just like I didn't either. I mean, once I started educating myself, my eyes were open. So a lot of people have came to me after speaking, after hearing me speak and saying, I did not know I was being a bully, or I did not know this person was bullying me. And I do have a lot of people that even after I share the information, they say, well, I'm not a bully,
Mm,
and I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. Well, you still believe a lie because just gossiping about somebody or insulting somebody,
yeah.
those things are bullying. So I don't know people that don't do that. It's not, whether it's on purpose or not, we do it. So what it's about is recognizing what you're doing, acknowledging it, and then choosing to change it and not do it
Mm,
anymore. So even though I educate about it, I still find myself bullying sometimes. And I'm like, oh, no, that is not how I want to treat people. That is
yeah.
not how I want to be treated. So my focus is always telling people, be kind to each other and treat others the way you want to be treated. So those are my two big things that I really say a lot.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and
Yeah.
it needs to be said, far more often. And I want to
Yeah.
thank you for using your voice to even
Thank
shine a
you.
light on that kind of thing. So how is your life different now that you've been able to identify these things, you've been able to to build on it, you're starting writing about it, you're talking about it. How is your life different now?
My life is so different because now I know, I understand when it's time to say something and when to ignore things, because a lot of people say and do things to get you to argue with them, and that's not what I'm about. My life has changed. I'm not a people pleaser anymore. So I listen to things, I see how things are done. I'm able to speak up even for other people now and say, that's not nice. Would you want them to treat you that way? That was never me,
Mm.
and for me to be able to say that for myself, that's big too. So it's changed my life a lot. I'm a lot more at peace because I understand what bullying is. I see it, clearly, and I, deal with it at the time. Sometimes I ignore it. When I need to, I address it because, as they say, pick your battle. So sometimes it's not even worth
Right.
saying anything. So it's changed my life tremendously. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot lighter um, as far as peaceful
Hmm.
because I have this information, because I have this knowledge. I'm able to live a more peaceful life.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
that's amazing. And that sounds like something we should all aspire toward.
yeah.
So now we're gonna come back to the book, but
Okay.
I want you to tell the people watching what it was like knowing me growing up. That's such an
Hey,
arrogant question. I'm sorry.
that's okay. Rajan, you remember one time, I do not even remember what was going on. When I think about you, sometimes I think about this and I just have to laugh. But one time I had a lot on my mind and you said, Mom, you all right? And I said, Oh, Rajan, I am wearied in the multitude of my counsels. And you said, Whoa, I like that. I'm gonna have to use
That's me. Yeah, man.
that.
That's
So
funny.
so I remember that that time, but it was so much fun all the time, when you and Jabbar came over and how to see Jean light up, to have some friends, especially because of the bullying,
Yeah.
that he experienced for so many years. Y'all were his friends and y'all made him happy.
Yeah.
He was excited when y'all were around and to see y'all three together just always, like I said, made me happy. So um, Re- hey, Javar.
I texted him and told him you were on. I texted
Hey,
him and told him you were on.
honey.
Listen, like you absolutely right though, but like as much as like you don't know like the impact. Me and Jay still talk about when we get together. We still talk about those fun times, on the tennis court, singing. I think it was like 9, 10 o'clock at night when we were singing at that tennis court that night, one of those
Yes.
nights. And we was out there singing our hearts out. And people were so
Yes.
nice. People were so nice to us. Nobody told us to shut up or nothing like that. But I remember like just coming to your house and just always knowing that when we came by, you would always look out for us and make sure we were good. And you treated us like we were yours. Like
Y'all
there was
were.
no distinction and no separation. Or like, my kids do this. Like, no.
Yeah.
If Gene and Keisha don't want to do this,
Yeah.
then Rajan and Javar are gonna do this with Gene and
Yeah.
Keisha.
Yeah.
And you never treated us like outsiders. And that is the greatest testament
Yeah.
and testimony for me to the person that you have been to me in my life. And Jay would say the exact same thing. He said, tell them
Yeah.
about our amazing singing mama.
I did, Javar, before you
She
came
did.
on. I was
Yes.
telling them how y'all were in the tennis court and wherever y'all could be on the tennis court and wherever y'all could be, y'all were singing. In Jean's room, wherever y'all could be, y'all were
Yeah.
singing. And I just love that. And I miss that. Hey, Rajan, I just thought about something else.
What?
When y'all came over after Thanksgiving one time and I fixed turkey spaghetti for the first
Oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
And you said, I never heard of this before.
no.
And you really liked it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that that's just something else I thought about too. But
Turkey
it was
spaghetti.
always so, like I said, so much fun and meant a lot to me, when you and Jabbar would come over just to see the smile on Gene's face and how happy he was, to have friends. And then the good old days. And then just thinking about everything that y'all did was just y'all were sticking together, and that
Yeah.
that meant a lot to me.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you remember when I had Jean's going away party, not
Hmm.
going away party, but his graduation, his graduation little party. We were
Mm-hmm.
talking about that not long ago, what I gave him, giving him the condoms.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And
Moms.
you and Javar knew what that was before he even got the paper off. And he's like, "Why are y'all laughing?" I'm like, "I need you to be covered up,
Yeah.
son. I don't
Yeah.
know what you're doing when you're not around me, but I'm gonna help you
Right.
out."
And to that testament, Gene has kids after me.
Yeah.
So it worked, Mom. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Because my
That was
oldest is
fun.
19. My oldest is
Wow.
19. She'll be 20 this year. Yeah, I've already be 20 this year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's
Oh,
crazy. Yeah, but I definitely wanted to make sure we talked about those because those are definitely some good times, man.
yeah.
Just great times hanging out in the Air Force Base and
Yes.
just being out there. Like it was dope. But the
Yeah.
book, right? So where can they find the book?
Okay. The book I purchased my books. You can purchase them on Amazon. Trouble on
Mhm.
the Inside is my book, and this book is about workplace bullying. And my pseudonym is authoress Stephanie Lynn. Uh,
Oh, I see what you
And
did there. Because I'm like, I can't find Stephanie Hockenhull.
yes, it's Stephanie, authoress Stephanie. And then here's my workbook. Uh, Bullies, a hard examination is needed, and my pseudonym, of course, authoress Stephanie Lynn. So you can purchase these on Amazon. You can buy them from me. You can inbox me on my Facebook page or Instagram, which everything is Love Misunderstood Institute. Thank you. Everything is Love Misunderstood Institute, which is my nonprofit organization. If you buy the books from me, I sign the books and then I ship the books out to you.
Yes. So I would rather them buy it. I'm only putting this up here because I want them to be able to see what the book looks like.
Okay.
But I would rather them purchase the book from you because I do know you get a bigger cut if they order it straight from you.
Yes.
So make sure if you can inbox her or can they email you?
Yes.
What's your email address?
You can
Put it in the
email
comment
me
section.
at reallovemisunderstood@gmail.com. So real and then love misunderstood @gmail.com.
Yes, please make sure you go out and buy it. Buy it. Email her. Let her send you the book. Amazon's cool and all, but we don't get sponsorship. We don't have a sponsorship with Amazon, so we're not trying to like build them up. But I did want to make sure I showed y'all what the cover looked like. All right, it's Trouble on the Inside by authoress Stephanie Lynn. That's her pseudonym because she is fancy, and fancy people have pseudonyms.
Yes.
I don't have a pseudonym yet. I got. Maybe I should get a pseudonym. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm missing.
It's funny before I put the book. Go ahead.
No.
Okay, before I put the book out, I was like, "What's my name gonna be?" Because, I don't want to use my last name because just because the marriage didn't work out doesn't mean I'm not gonna get married again. I would
Right.
love to be married again. So, what name can I use that I don't have to change again? And then I heard authoress. Let me get the dictionary. I looked at authoress. I was like, "Hey, I like this name." So authoress is just simply a female author.
All right.
And so a lot of people don't know that. And then so I just added my first and middle name. So
Nice.
my name is always going to be Stephanie Lynn, no matter what.
That's right. So you got plans on getting married, Miss Stephanie?
No, I don't have any plans. I'm not even dating right now, but I am available.
Okay.
And I have been focusing more not on marriage or dating or anything like that, but focusing on getting my from the girlfriends, but focusing on getting myself together, my life together, so that I'm on a road, where I'm not dependent on somebody else, but that I have my own thing going on. And then whoever he is, he has his own thing going on, and we'll bring our things together and we'll, do it together. So that's my hope and my focus. Like, so dating or anything like that has not even been on my mind. It's just how can I get myself together and how can I learn more about me?
Right. So if y'all are watching this show and you thinking about dating my moms, you got some people to go through before you can get to her.
Yes,
So you gotta
a lot of people.
check in, homeboy. So
Thank you.
and no
That's right.
weirdos. No weirdos. We don't do weirdos
Right.
in the
At
family
all. At
at
all.
all. Man, this has been fun, moms. This has been really fun. Any parting thoughts before we close? How can they find you? Are you on social media?
Yes, on all my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and even YouTube. You can find me under Love Misunderstood Institute.
All right.
And my personal page is Stephne Terrell Hockenhull. Um, yeah, so, but you can find me on all those platforms and get in touch with me by looking for Love Misunderstood Institute.
All right. All right. Man,
Thank you.
any parting thoughts?
Um, I would just like to say thank you, Rajan, for inviting me. I'm glad you got me on before you closed out. I was surprised to hear that you were not going to do any more shows. I'm looking forward to hearing you and your mom do the show next week. Are y'all still doing a show together?
Yeah, May 12th, we're doing it. Next week I have
Okay.
Dr. Jenny Stevens and then my mom the following week. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like. I love the mom son combo kind of thing.
Yeah.
The mom child,
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
adult child, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's so wonderful. Dads and daughters, I just love to see that kind of stuff. So I just want to encourage everybody to use your voice, not allow anyone to bully you. And then when you realize that you're bullying someone else, in other words, that you're controlling them, uh, recognize and acknowledge what you're doing and choose to change it. Remember to treat everybody the way you want to be treated and be kind to others.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I guess I want to close by telling you thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being a part of my village. Um, you know, I get so much not to be arrogant, but I get a lot of, props for stuff that I do. But understand that the way I look at children and the way I see youth, a lot of people saw me, and a lot of people saw promise in me, and a lot of people saw things in me, and they sold into me. And you are definitely one of those people. I will love you forever for it, and I
Aw,
cannot
thank
thank you
you.
enough for the things that you sold into me and Javar. I'm talking for Javar as well.
Yeah.
Like, because we still talk about y'all, we still talk about those times together, and I hope one day we're able to make you as proud of us as you made us happy to know you. So thank you.
And I am very proud of you and seeing what you're doing, knowing that you have a nonprofit, knowing that you are helping, uh, young men to become better men.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of you for doing that, for having your nonprofit and for teaching and for getting educated and for doing all that you've done. And Javar, I know you're still there. You're singing. I love you too. You're singing. I haven't seen you on Facebook too much, showing that you're singing, but Javar, the way he talks and what he puts on Facebook, and I'm just laughing as if I'm right there hearing it come out of his mouth.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that Geechee. I just love it. You are welcome, Eva. Thank you. So I am very proud of y'all. I'm very proud of you, Jean, Jabbar. Y'all are doing things and stayed out of trouble. That's big.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I absolutely love it. And I'm very thankful. Very
Yes,
thankful.
ma'am. We gotta get together. I don't know where we're gonna do it at yet, but me and Gene wanted us to come out to his birthday last year, I want to say.
Yeah.
But we weren't able to get out there. But we definitely plan on doing something where we can get out there and hang out and kick it. Jay, you know where he is. Where he is.
Oh, Javar, you crack me up with that. And I'm taking my time reading like I'm just learning to read to try to read. And so that makes it even more funny. And then to just hear him once I
Yep.
take my time and read everything and say, oh, this is what he's saying, then I'm laughing because I can hear his voice actually saying it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's even more funny. So thanks again, Rajan, for having me on the show.
No
I
problem.
appreciate you.
Yes,
God
ma'am.
bless you and keep doing what you're doing. I'm excited for you and I'm proud of
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
you.
And
You're
with that,
welcome.
we're gonna close, man. I want to thank
Thank
everybody for watching. Thank you so much to Moms, aka Stephne Hockenhull,
Thank you.
aka Stephanie Lynn, the authoress Stephanie Lynn. You get her book.
Thank you.
Please go out and get her book. Go get her book. Go get her book.
Yes.
Go get her book. Let me
Yes.
say that again. Because it's important. And make sure you email her. You can email her at reallovemisunderstood@gmail.com. She will sign it. She will send it to you. You have your own personalized copy because it's going to be worth a lot of money one of these days. So please go ahead and do that. Thanks to everybody for watching. Like I said, we only got 2 more of these to go. Next week, we have Dr. Jenny Stevens, who's my boss at the Center for Heirs Property Preservation. She's been watching me grow and develop in the last 2 years. She agreed to be one of my last guests, and I'm grateful for it. In my final episode, I think I'm going to make it a 2-hour episode because we're going out. So I'll open the lines. I'll have people call in. I'll have people come in to the video and just talk about their experience with the show. But that show will be co-hosted with my mom. Maxine Lewis is coming through. Pew, 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 pew. And we're going to be talking, and, she's going to cry and stuff because my mom does that. My mom is a crier. So if anybody's ever seen me cry, it's because my mom cries a lot, and she's going to cry on the show. I can guarantee it. Set your clocks. I'm telling you, she's going to cry. But yeah, so I'm excited. Tune in. That'll be May 12th. May 12th will be the final episode. And then we'll be out of here, man. I'll probably make a big announcement that night about the next thing. All right. That's all I'll say about that. All right. With that being said, y'all always remember, make sure you leave a review, 5-star review if you liked it. If you like it, if you loved it, 5-star review, and let me know why you liked it. Leave a review. If you didn't like it, leave a 5-star review and tell me why you didn't like it. I'll read it anyway. And always remember, man, that God is everything, and without him, we are nothing. So never forget where your help comes from. And if a man doesn't stand for something, he's bound to fall for anything. Now, that is real talk. I will see y'all next Wednesday. Peace.
Thank you.